One day, there was a person who was around 60 years old. He was wearing very old and plain clothes. He walked into a bank. At 10:30 in the morning, the clock struck. As soon as he stepped inside, both the customers and employees began staring at him strangely. The old man's name was Monmohan Dev. He slowly walked toward the customer counter, where a lady employee named Jonaki was sitting. "Excuse me," said Monmohan Babu politely. "Could you please check once what problem has occurred with my account? It's not working properly." Saying this, he handed an envelope toward Jonaki, but Jonaki judged him by his plain clothes. She said in a very dismissive tone, "Uncle, did you come here by mistake? I don't think you even have an account in this bank." "Oh, child, just check once," calmly replied Monmohan Babu. "It might be that my account is indeed here." Jonaki took the envelope and said, "Uncle, this will take some time. You'll have to wait." Then she started attending to other customers. Monmohan Babu waited for a few moments, and then again said, "Child, if you're too busy, then please call the manager. I actually have some urgent matters with him." After hearing this, Jonaki realized that she shouldn't have kept this old man waiting. She immediately called the manager's office. "Sir, an old man wants to meet you. Should I send him in?" The manager was busy with some paperwork, but he glanced up to see the old man and said to Jonaki, "Is he really our customer, or has he just wandered in here?" "Sir, I'm not sure, but he insists on meeting you." The manager irritably answered, "I don't have time for such people. Let him sit there. After a while, he'll leave on his own." As per the manager's order, John Kelly told Monmohan Babu to wait. He slowly walked to a corner of the waiting area and sat down. But every now and then, he would look toward the employees, wondering what they were writing in those files. Meanwhile, people in the bank started discussing the old man among themselves. "Look at that old man. I think he's a beggar. How did he even enter the bank? Yeah, he looks like someone who has no money. Why would a rich bank allow him to enter? He seems lost. Someone must have sent him here to beg for money." Everyone in the bank kept looking at him, customers and employees alike. This was because generally, only wealthy people came to this bank. All of them were dressed in suits and ties, so everyone was surprised to see a man in such plain clothes. Monmohan Babu heard all these comments, but he didn't seem bothered. He just sat quietly, waiting for the manager. At that moment, a young junior employee named Surajit returned to the bank. He noticed the old man sitting there while everyone mocked him. Feeling uneasy, Surajit walked over and politely asked, "Uncle, why have you come here? Can I help you?" Monmohan Babu replied, "Son, I came to see the manager. I have some urgent work." "All right, uncle. Please wait. I'll go and talk to the manager." Surajit went into the manager's office and explained everything. But the manager rudely replied, "I know. I told him to wait. If he sits there for a while, he'll leave on his own. Don't waste your time on this. Just do your work." Surajit had no choice but to obey. Monmohan Babu waited patiently for a while, but finally he couldn't bear it anymore. He stood up and walked toward the manager's cabin. The manager came out himself and said, "Yes, uncle. What do you want?" "I have an envelope," said Monmohan Babu, holding it out. "It contains all my bank account details. My account transactions aren't working. Please check what's wrong." The manager laughed and said, "Uncle, this happens when there's no money in the account. I think your account is empty." "Child, at least check once," calmly replied Monmohan Babu. "Don't make conclusions without looking." The manager arrogantly said, "I'm speaking from experience. Your account has nothing in it. That much is clear just by looking at you. Leave now. You're disturbing the bank's environment." Monmohan Babu placed the envelope on the table and said slowly, "Very well. I'll leave. But do check the papers inside. And remember, you'll have to face the consequences." Then he walked out. Later, Surajit picked up the envelope, logged into the bank's server, and started searching. What he found shocked him. Monmohan Dev was actually a shareholder of the bank, one of its owners. Surajit quickly prepared a report and showed it to the manager. But the manager dismissed it, saying, "I'm not interested. Go do your work." Now, the next day, Monmohan Babu arrived at the bank again. This time, at exactly 10:30, he came with a well-dressed gentleman carrying a briefcase. The manager was visibly shocked to see them. Calling the manager forward, Manmohan Babu said, "Manager, I warned you yesterday that you'd face the consequences. The way you treated me yesterday is unacceptable. Now, be prepared for punishment." The manager thought to himself, "What can they do to me? I'm the manager." But suddenly he heard, "You have been removed from your post as manager. From now on, Surajit will be the new manager in your place." The manager was completely shocked. He looked towards the old man, then at the younger employee, and finally at the briefcase. The gentleman opened it and took out two documents. The first was Surajit's promotion letter. The second was for the current manager. It stated that, if he wished, he could continue working in the field, but he could no longer serve as manager. The manager began sweating in fear and started begging for forgiveness. "Sir, I made a terrible mistake. It won't happen again." Manmohan Babu said, "There's no need to apologize. You broke the principles of our bank. Here, there's no difference between rich and poor. Everyone must be treated with equal respect. I could have dismissed you entirely, but out of mercy, I've only removed you from your position." Then he called John Key and said, "I'm forgiving you for your first mistake, but in the future, don't judge people by their clothes. Solve their problems sincerely." "Yes, sir. I won't make this mistake again." Manmohan Babu smiled lightly and said, "Work sincerely. That's all that matters." Then he left the bank with his companion. After they left, the employees and customers started talking among themselves in astonishment. Everyone felt a true owner should be like this. It's not enough just to own a bank. You must also take proper responsibility. Thus, Manmohan Babu proved his authority and left everyone with a lesson. Never judge a person by their clothes or appearance. Now tell me, what lesson did you learn from this story? Be sure to share your thoughts. Thanks for watching. See you next time.